First and foremost, it was lovely to meet so many of you at the Year 7 Open Evening earlier this term. I really hope that you found the time with your child's form tutor helpful, and thank you to those of you who have already completed the short survey about your child's first few weeks here at Walker. It's really important that we get your feedback so that we can continue to make sure that Walker Riverside Academy really is a great place for students. I've included the QR code in this email. If any of you have got some time just to fill it in and give us some feedback, I'd really appreciate that. Last time I shared with you that the attendance in Year 7 was best across the academy, and it continues to be the same. So thank you again for making sure your young people are up, ready and dressed and in school on time every day. There's really clear evidence that the long-term impact of good attendance really has got an impact on the GCSE grades your child will get. And this ultimately means more opportunities and choices beyond school. In today's short vlog, I wanted to share with you how lessons work here at Walker, so you can see what it is that we do to make every minute of learning count, and hopefully that you can have some better conversations with your child about their learning. I also want to talk you through how you can use our Academy website to find out what your child is learning too. So our lessons are structured around an A, B, C, D format. The first part of every lesson is an activate phase. During this part of the lesson, learners are asked to sit and really think hard about what they learned last lesson, last term or last year. And the purpose of this is so that they recall the knowledge that they need. And the more they remember, then the easier it will be for them to learn. So last lesson helps us check what students have remembered from last lesson and the knowledge that they need to move on. Last term helps us revisit learning from previous lessons. The more we revisit learning, the more it helps to stick in their minds. And last year, by having that practice over a period of time, it will really help learners make progress. Sometimes we'll ask students questions about what might be coming up in that lesson to find out what they know before we start. The second part of our lesson is called the build phase. It's at this point that our expert teachers here at Walker teach learners new information, and it's really important that your child is listening carefully so they can pick up all the new information they need. During build, we'll cold call students. So we use a no hands up policy here for much of the time in our lessons, because we want to make sure that every child gets an opportunity to answer. We give children thinking time so that they can think carefully before they give an answer. The next phase of our lesson is called the consolidate phase, and this is where we practice with learners on the new information they've learned. During the consolidate phase, there's quite a lot of discussion and chat amongst learners, so we use the signal 3, 2, 1 to get learners' attention again. The final phase of our lessons is the demonstrate phase, and this is where your child has the opportunity to show us what they have learned. They get a minimum of 10 minutes to really show off their new knowledge. Teachers will use that time to support learners by going around, giving them more challenging questions to think about, or support them with simple things like spelling and punctuation. Assessments in Walker take place every lesson as we question and check for understanding. However, every 3 or 4 lessons, we'll also use a purple zone to check for learning over a period of time. Purple zones allow students to really show us what they have learned over a period of 3 or 4 lessons. Learners know the structure of purple zone, and that's when they work in silence and as hard as they can to show us the best of their learning. Your Year 7 child will already have done purple zones in several lessons. So if they come home and say, I've done a purple zone today, or we've got purple zone tomorrow, then now you know what it is that they're working towards. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was our school website. And if you look here on the screen, you can see the homepage of our school website. Down the side here, you'll be able to find a link that would then take you to our faculties. And within each faculty area, you'll be able to click on there to find out exactly what your child is learning at the moment. So in this example for English, you can see for the autumn term what it is they'll be learning. So by knowing where to find this information, you can have those conversations with your child about what they've learned today. And instead of them saying, well, I don't know, I can't remember, you could check in with the website and say, well, what did you learn about this today? Lastly, some information for next half term. The Year 7 reports will be coming out on Friday the 19th of November, and that will give you a chance to see how your child is performing across school, looking at their attitude to learning, their behaviour and their homework in lessons. Again, if you've got any questions, please feel free to email me, and I look forward to catching up with you again next half term. Thanks.